there are a lot of reasons we're in this pickle we are today, but let's just remember one. George Bush elected 2000. Dick Cheney, secret meetings with the oil and gas industry. They formulated an energy policy. That energy policy was adopted by the Republican House, the Republican Senate, and signed by the Republican President. That was in 2005. Many of us said it was short-sighted. It would make us more dependent upon imported oil, and it has. When George Bush was elected, 52% of our oil was imported. Today, it's 58%. Many of us said it would drive up the price. It has. When George Bush was elected, it was $1.46 a gallon. Today, it's $4.39 a gallon in my district. So they're saying now suddenly, whoa, it's the Democrats' fault. No, we're living under the failures of the Republican oil industry energy policy. There's actually 164,968,695 reasons why we're living under that. That's the amount of money the Republican Party has received from the oil industry in the last 18 years. $164 million in political contributions. Now, that's a pretty big motivation. There's another thing going on here. Since George Bush took office, the profits of the oil industry have been $511 billion in this country. That's $511 billion out of Americans' pockets and into the oil industry's pockets. They've made more money under 7 years of George Bush than they made in the entire quarter century preceding his presidency. Yeah, there's something a little bit rotten here. Now, they want to do, they talk about drilling offshore and all that stuff. Well, let's talk about short-term relief. There's three ways to get short-term relief. One is release our oil. Release our oil. We have paid to put oil in the strategic reserve for emergencies. This is an emergency. It's been done 3 times. 1991, the price went down 33%. 2000 went down 18%. 2005, it went down 9%. That would give relief today at the pump. And there's another thing we could do, but they're against this too. The gentleman from Texas talked about, they want to file a complaint against OPEC. Well, no, we probably, the George Bush isn't going to do that, that's for sure. Here's George Bush holding hands with King Faisal of Saudi Arabia when he was over there begging them to increase production. OPEC's production, with a doubling in the price of oil, is down 2.5%. They have colluded to drive up the price of oil and limit the supply. And we have a legal option which the president refuses to use. He refuses to file a complaint in the World Trade Organization for a clear violation of the rules of the General Agreement on Trade and Tariffs, Article 11, by the OPEC countries. That would have an immediate impact to the American people. And then there's the speculators. Today, the largest holder of oil resources in the United States of America is not ExxonMobil, not Shell, not Conoco. Name all your oil companies. No. It's Morgan Stanley on Wall Street through their speculative activities, followed by Goldman Sachs, and followed by others who are speculating and driving up the prices market. We have credible testimony from Wall Street experts. If we reined in the speculation, which was created by the Enron loophole, remember, Tech Corporation, Boyle, president's best friend, he's dead. Enron's bankrupt. He would have gone to jail for fraud, but the loophole lives on, and we're all paying at the pump. An estimated 50%, according to Wall Street experts, is going into speculative activity. But they don't want to take on speculative activity. They just want to talk about one thing, and that is they want to drill in Anwar. Well, guess what? Anwar was made a National Wildlife Refuge in 1950. The Naval Petroleum Reserve was made a petroleum reserve, 30 seconds, in 1923 by Warren Harding. Now, why was this a natural preserve and this an oil preserve? Because they know there's more than 10 billion barrels of oil under here. The Republicans changed it from a naval reserve to a national reserve, and Bill Clinton actually leased it, and yesterday George Bush announced he's going to lease more of it. There's 10 billion barrels of oil under there. That's our Saudi Arabia. They've drilled 25 wells, but they haven't tried to connect to the Alaska pipeline. They've capped the wells, and they're sitting on them. And why are they sitting on them? Because they think if they keep manipulating the market, they can make as much money as possible today and even more down the road. They are sitting on supplies of oil, and they are failing to develop what they could.